and visit with the eagles in their perch up in the sky. I'll drive my train or fly my plane through wind and snow and sleet and rain, and never ever will I be afraid. I'll float along in my balloon up through the clouds into the moon. Oh, growing up is gonna be just great. Someday when I grow up, captain of a sailing yacht, I'll glide upon the ocean blue to a distant land. Someday when I grow up, I'll be like Sir Lancelot, a knight in shining armor on a horse that's fast and tall. Or drive my race car around the track so fast I'll have to look in back to see the other car in second place. Or parachute out of the sky and feel the wind go whipping by with a great big smile upon my face. Or drive my race car around the track so fast I'll have to look in back to see the other car in second place. Or parachute out of the sky and feel the wind go whipping by with a great big smile upon my face. But now it's time to go to bed, so I'll just have to dream instead about the things I'm gonna do someday when I grow up. I drive my train or fly my plane through wind and snow and sleet and rain, and never ever will I be afraid. I'll float along in my balloon up through the clouds and to the moon. Oh, growing up is gonna be just great.
When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see. No, I won't be afraid. Oh, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand
silver bells, silver bells. It's Christmas time in the city. Ring-a-ling, hear them ring. Soon it will be Christmas Day. City sidewalks, busy sidewalks, dressed in holiday style. In the air there's a feeling of Christmas. Children laughing, people passing, meeting smile after smile. And on every street corner you'll hear silver bells, silver bells. It's Christmas time in the city. Ring-a-ling, hear them ring. Soon it will be Christmas Day. Silver bells, silver bells. Hear them ring. Soon it will be Christmas Day. Soon it will be Christmas Day.
Bells will be ringing. This sad, sad news. Oh, what a Christmas to have the blues. My baby's gone, and I have no friends to wish me greetings once again. Choirs will be singing silent night in Christmas carols.
faith in you and the things you do. You won't go wrong. Oh no, this is our family jewel. We are family. Sing it to me. I got all my sisters and me. Sing it to me. We are family. I can hear you, y'all. Get up, everybody, and sing. We have faith in you and the things you do. Hey, hey, I got all my sisters with me. We are family. Get up, y'all. Get up, everybody, and sing. We are family. I got my sisters with me. I got all my sisters with me. Everybody, we are family. Y'all, get up, everybody, and sing. Get up and sing it to me.
Out here in the country, there's magic in the air. It's the middle of December. There's excitement everywhere. Everyone's invited. The celebration's planned. The gift is just what's in your heart and not what's in your hands. And who's the one we need to thank? Who's the party for? Who's the one responsible for all this peace and joy? Who deserves the credit for the blessings we enjoy? The preacher said last Sunday it was Joseph and Mary's boy. There were times we didn't think we'd make it through the year. The banker tried to take our farm, but somehow we're still here. I don't know how our crops survived the drought and too much rain. It must have been a miracle.
How much is that dog in the window? doggy in the window. I do hope that doggy's for sale. I must take a trip to California and leave my poor sweetheart alone. If he has a dog, he won't be lonesome, and the doggy will have a good home. How much is that doggy in the window? The one...
La 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 la. Everyone's invited. The celebration planned. The gift is just what's in your hearts and not what's in your hands.
You know our love was meant to be the kind of love to last forever. And I want you here with me from tonight until the end of time. You should know everywhere I go, always on my mind, in my heart, in my soul. Baby, you're the meaning in my life. You're the inspiration. You bring me
Okay, we're done with the family videos here, so I just thought I would fill up the tape a little bit with some old family movies of Daryl and Cleo and the kids, and what we did as the kids were growing up. This is our first camping trip that I believe that we ever did. It was a campground, I think it was called Fort Lost in the Woods, up by Zimmerman, Minnesota, which is about 30 miles from where we lived in Blaine. So don't mean to bore you with these videos, but just thought we'd do. I just made some quick excerpts from the different camping trips that we did while the kids were growing up. There's quite an experience with bees flying around. She wasn't too excited about that. There's that little cutie. That's Renee. Boys are going to practice their baseball skills here. Keep your eye on the ball. This is a second camping trip. This was at Sherburne State Park or Sherburne Park over in the Zimmerman area as well. This one had a swimming pool, as you can see, and the kids enjoyed their day there. There were some friends that we knew at one time in Coon Rapids. Don't remember what their names are. Ooh, that looks good, Renee. This is at Wapiti Park between Anoka and Elk River, a little campground on the Rum River. We went there quite a few times. It was a good camp spot, and the river did a horseshoe around the campground, so you could start at one end and end up back at your campsite, which is only about a block and a half from where you started. Nice swing into the river. Oh, here's a little magic show that Brian and his friend Jeremy put on. This is when we lived in Blaine. Good job, Brian. This is a camping trip that we did up in the Ely area, northern Minnesota. Couldn't find any good background music for these videos, so I'll just narrate this a little bit. We did quite a bit of camping for 2 or 3 years. Had a lot of fun going to different places. I even cooked this meal. This is Gooseberry Falls at the North Shore. Actually, this may be just north of that falls. We walked back into the woods about a quarter of a mile or a little better. Hot days, so the kids enjoy being cooled off a little bit there. This is at Gooseberry Falls here. It's a very scenic place. I think it's about an hour up the road or east of Duluth. If you've never been there, it's a nice drive. Brandon, do you remember what that dog's name was, the little black one? Is it Peppy? Okay. This is in Itasca State Park, the headwaters of the Mississippi River. Everybody has to take time to walk across, you know, just to say we walked across the Mississippi. Yeah, it looks a little easier just to walk through the water than to walk across those slippery rocks. A little video of the kids playing at the park in Blaine. It's called Fort Lyons Park. Okay, you guys keep an eye on the kids on these tires. Got a little thing that actually happened here coming up. Ooh, there goes Brian. Head first, right inside. This is out on Lake Michigan. Took the kids out there fishing for salmon. This was our neighbor's boat, Paul Guck from Blaine. Used to live across the street from us. It's Paul and his wife Sharon. Their daughter Debbie there. Yours truly. Hi, Cleo. And here's Brandon catching his first salmon. Thing was so big, his dad had to help him hold the rod. Ooh, nice fish. This is Rhonda pulling in her salmon or trout. And back in Blaine after our fishing trip. There's our catch for the day for a few hours. Here's a sign says Smithwick. Smithwick, South Dakota. Located southeast of Rapid City. I think it's about an hour away in the Black Hills area. quiet little town. Kind of reminds me of Baker, a little bit smaller than that. There's the Smithwick U.S. Post Office. The thing that I remembered so well about Smithwick was they had a white fire truck there with red lettering. I don't think I'd ever seen a white fire truck before back then. This is in the Black Hills, taking the road up to Mount Rushmore. We're not actually driving that fast. It's just that the old 8mm film ran a little faster than what the events really were. You go through the tunnel here. Doesn't show up very well, but the faces you can see through the trees as you come through that tunnel. Just kind of a scenic overlook from the road in the Black Hills. And from there we were, I think we camped 2 days in the Black Hills, and then this morning we're on our way to Devil's Tower in Wyoming, en route to Yellowstone Park. We got here about 6 or 7 in the morning, decided to stop and take a little tour of it. Quite an interesting site out in the middle of nowhere to speak of. And I think this was a pass in Colorado, getting up higher in elevation, and found a little snow along the hillside. This was like in late June of the summer. That's Rhonda. There's Renee. Cleo catching the kids so they don't hit the rocks too hard. There's Brandon. And there's myself riding down the hill with a camera in my hand. And we all went back to our van with a little wetter behinds than before. Some pretty big buffalo there at Yellowstone Park. Old Faithful is quite a sight to see. Back then, I think this shot water and steam into the air about every 30 minutes. I think it's not quite as frequent anymore these days, down to like once an hour or something like that, I think I heard. Maybe a little less. Just a scenic waterfall inside of Yellowstone. So we decided to take a walk down to the bottom of the hill where the bottom of the falls are. And the kids had fun playing Indians there one evening. We actually had a bear come into our campground while we were parked there for about a 3-day period. Scared the daylights out of all of us. Ooh, a mean looking guy. Very pretty country with all the mountains in the background. I think this is on our way home from Yellowstone, going out of the Northeast Pass, which is quite a downhill trip to Red Lake in Montana, I think, Red Lake Falls. This is Custer's Last Stand, the Little Bighorn in eastern Montana. This was a very impressive site, nice interpretive center there that told about the history of it, and each one of those grave markers is supposedly where one of our cavalry soldiers died at the time of the big massacre. There's Renee practicing her driving as we're heading back across North Dakota towards Bismarck. And here we are at the Bismarck Zoo. There's a big bear called Clyde, largest brown bear in captivity. The two bears there, Bonnie and Clyde. There's Bonnie. Nice Clydesdale. Paulette's sister and her family, Paulette and Keith. Mark and Shane, their two boys.
Good morning, Vietnam!
So I just thought I'd show you a few partial film clips here of my days in the Army over in Vietnam, and I'll try and tell you what's going on a little bit throughout the footage here. That's my M60 machine gun off the side of the helicopter. Holding the camera outside the helicopter, showing the tail there. This is a city that had been hit pretty well wiped out by bombs from B-52s, and again through this film we're not flying quite as fast as what the helicopter is showing when we're down low. It's just the difference in the 8mm film of those days. This is Benoit, where I stationed the second year that I was over there. This is our heliport there. The picture before that was the barracks where we used to live. There's my gunner, and there's myself, the crew chief of the helicopter. This was taken down in the very southern part of Vietnam. There's a air raid going on there. There's some bombs going off, and you can see the smoke from it. And this is the southern portion again, down by Vung Tau. Here we're taking off for a morning flight. There's a Chinook helicopter carrying some supplies.
Well, I'm going out west where I belong. Where the days are short and the nights are long. Where they walk and I walk, they twist and I'll twist, they shimmy and I'll shimmy, they fly and I'll fly.
This is Tan Son Nhut Airport in Saigon. That's the main airport there, and I think we're just turning to the right there, which will be our little army base with a heliport that you'll see that we're just coming in for a landing at. That's actually like sand on the ground there, it's not snow. This is another city that was blown up by our bombs. There's another airstrike going on. You should be able to see airplane diving in a little bit.
Well, the girls are frisky in old Frisco. A pretty little chick wherever you go. And they walk, and I walk. They twist, and I'll twist. They'll shimmy, and I'll shimmy. They'll fly, and I'll fly.
I think I'm riding a Jeep right here on the way out to our heliport. That's a hangar that we fixed our helicopters in there. There I am working on a helicopter.
Every morning just to keep a job, I gotta find my way through the hustle and the sounds of the city pounding in my brain while another day goes down the drain. But it's 5 o'clock the world when the whistle blows. No one owns a piece of my time, and there's a 5 o'clock for me inside my clothes.
There a bomb went off, and this is a portion where you should be able to see, just barely see an airplane making dive runs. There he comes down from the sky there.
Trading my time for the pay I get, living on money that I ain't made. Gotta keep going, gotta make my way, but I live for the end of the day. 'Cause it's a 5 o'clock world when the whistle
You should be able to see him diving again on this one, and then you'll see a bomb go off or a little explosion after he pulls up.
in the shelter of the arms, everything's okay. She talks and the world knows slippery ways. And I
These were some popular songs back in the late 60s. Just playing with the camera a little bit. I always flew in the Huey helicopters and they could not do rollovers like that. This was an accident that happened early one morning where 2 or 3 of our helicopters collided. It was very foggy at the time of the accident.
It started long ago in the Garden of Eden when Adam said to Eve, baby, you're for me. So come on, baby, let's start today. Come on, baby, let's play the game of love, la 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 love. Come on, baby, 'cause the time is right. Love your daddy with all your might. Put your arms around me, hold me tight. Play the game of love. The purpose of a man is to love a woman, and the purpose of
This
a
is
woman is to
some of the shipyards on the Saigon River in Saigon, where our Navy hooked up with some docks, and there's also a ship repair facility which is coming up here in just a second, right there.
Well, come on, baby, 'cause the time is right. Love your daddy with all your might. Put your arms around me, hold me tight. Play the game of love. The purpose of a man is to love a
This was the Saigon Bridge that entered the city from the northeast corner, kind of a famous bridge over there.
the game of love.
There's a mountain in the background called Nui Ba Din. This is one of the gun ships that they had over there.
Hey, I'm Adrian Cronauer. I'm out again at 1600. Why? Because I have to. It's the Army. We're talking out in the field today. Hi, what's your name? My name's Bob Fibber. Bob, what do you do? I'm in artillery. Thank you, Bob. Can we play anything for you? Anything! Just play it loud, okay?
Sure you recognize the name of Robert Williams, playing one of his movie songs over in the Vietnam area. There's the South China Sea down at Bung Tao again. This was on the southern tip of Vietnam, was actually kind of a resort base for the soldiers that got a week off to go on R&R. When we were down there one time, it was storming out and the waves were about 10, 12 feet high, and I had to rescue a boy off the ship and pull him into the helicopter as it was sinking out there.
Every time we kiss, I get that feeling. Every time we simply meet. When I see her smile, I get that feeling. 'Cause my baby looks
Even in
so
the war zone, we had to keep our helicopters neat and clean, freshly painted, and top running condition.
sugar and spice and all things nice. You know that little girl is mine. Never ever known a girl so lovely, sweet enough to want to eat. Everybody's crazy about my baby, 'cause my baby looks so sweet. You know she's sugar and spice and all things nice. Kisses sweeter than wine. Sugar and spice and all things nice. You know that little girl is mine.
Another airplane, you can just barely see it doing a dive run. They pull up kind of quick. There must be about 600 feet off the ground, but watch for the little explosion at the bottom there. There he comes in again on another dive run. I'm sure there is ground troops down there calling in for air support in that area. That's it. Thank you so much.